This is the test, or this is aged man?
This is an aged man.
Your phones? Your phones for your head.
I'll turn the kettle on,
Yeah?
even though it's unplugged.
It is not. It is not.
Okay. It's going to be madness for the things, the electronics, isn't it? Or not? Maybe not. My phones. I can't hear myself.
You should. If you
I can't hear you either.
If you'd turn the knob,
volume.
the
Volume. Which one?
This,
This one?
this last one.
There we are.
Is this in your head already?
Yes.
Yes.
S, yes. S, yes.
As yes.
And this podcast is brought to you by S, yes.
As yes. And as
For any time you need a yes, but you've only got an S.
and it is. And it is.
And it is.
And it is. And it is. And it is. And it is.
And it isn't. And it also isn't.
Isn't.
It is, and it isn't, but it wasn't either.
Wasn't. Let me.
Hold on, I think I've got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe.
Okay. Let me.
Yeah, because I couldn't see you last time.
Oh.
Well, that's way too far away. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Is that too low?
No.
Nope.
It's perfect. So.
Sorry. No problem. Bring out the sack. For our new listeners, welcome. Thank you. Thanks for coming back. Just so you know, Alvidas is putting his weight sack on the end of the microphone so it doesn't move.
Yeah, he doesn't fall down.
Yeah, it's good technical stuff.
Yeah.
Using your weight sack.
So should we disturb our listeners with some noise from our what's the thing?
The kettle.
The kettle, yes.
And in Lithuanian?
Virdulis.
Virdulis.
Virdulis. No, from the word virt. It is boil. Should be, this one should be called boiler.
Boiler.
Yeah, boiler from the word boil.
As in English it should be boiler.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where the word kettle comes from.
Yeah, but why? Because the boiler, it is the boiler somewhere, yeah? Because we have some canisters of the water and it's called boiler somehow. I don't know why they're called.
Oh, you mean like you're heating?
Yeah,
heating at home.
heating stuff.
Yeah, I'm not Googling anything, by the way.
Be sure to not Google.
Be sure to not Google. Listeners, be sure to not Google as well, because the answers, they're not that important, really.
Actually,
They really aren't.
because nobody understand what we're going. Not we, but we as the humans, and nobody really understand what's happening and what are we doing here.
Yeah, I mean, I think all the experts and everyone at some point during their day, every day,
Yeah.
looks in the mirror and goes, "What the fuck is this all about?" Or even, "What the fuck am I doing?" I think there's that. People have that. This kettle is not working. I don't think. Maybe I broke it.
Yeah.
I don't know what I did.
I
just
think
washed it.
you didn't plug it properly into
yeah?
the socket. You should push it.
Oh yeah.
Push it more. Push it.
Oh, maybe I unplugged something else.
Oh, no.
Oh, nothing's broken. Don't worry.
Yeah.
There we go.
Can you plug this?
There we go.
And can you plug in the middle?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Technical. This is all technical problems so far. Technical difficulties. And it's, you know what?
Yeah, electronic stuff.
It's the best thing is to not hold the audience away from it. They should hear what technical difficulties
They
come
should
along.
hear everything.
Yeah.
There is no secret for our audience from us. No secret at all.
At least during this 1 hour.
Yeah, exactly. No Googling, no secret. So we are like two smart men, like as we are.
As we are. As we are. Which is impossible. As we are is impossible. I know. I think it's the most ridiculous concept, because to get to as we are, the only thing is that is as they are is a baby when they first come out.
Yeah,
That's as they are.
yeah.
The second they're snipped, changed.
Maybe.
Or maybe animals.
Let us think.
It's
Yeah.
thinking time.
Yeah, it's thinking time. So hello everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Uh,
All the new listeners. Thank
All
you
the
very
new
much.
listeners, thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Just keep liking and subscribing, and
Don't listen to our videos. See, we don't need to say that. Don't subscribe. Don't like. If you don't want to listen, that's absolutely fine. Like,
of course,
do whatever you wish, because that's what we do.
yeah, definitely. So, but anyway, just I wanted to say hello, and
Yeah.
I think that yeah, we are on the record now.
Yeah. This is
So,
the most amount of listens we've had in the past week,
yeah.
which is thank you.
Thank you, all the 72 people which were maybe somehow listened to our, like, I don't know, 1 hour of our thoughts and our, like,
I mean, even if they
Thinking.
listened to 30 seconds of it, we're
I mean,
pretty
five
happy
of
with
them.
that. Like, if you just turned it on, we're happy with that. I don't know. I think we've both done so much in our lives that it's kind of like this. It's always, for whatever reason, it always feels like it's for you and me. I love the fact that people are listening,
Yeah,
and please come listen more if you wish. But like, I know that it's sort of therapy for me.
but you know,
Not in like a, oh, I've got a problem and I have to work it out.
Yeah,
but in like a, oh, here's a space where I can just speak.
yeah, but we like. I think that the therapy is, in all kind of human activities, I guess. Because as we talked in the previous podcast, and you know what I should say? If you didn't listen this previous podcast, here's the link below.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there is no any link. Don't worry, guys. So
Yeah.
unless link to, I don't know, whatever dimension of your mind, and
Yeah. The link below is the subconscious
Yes.
of you that has somehow through osmosis accepted
yeah,
the previous podcast into your realm of thought
yeah,
without you even knowing.
yeah,
So what you need to think is that you already know. You've already listened.
yeah. You are okay.
Yeah, you are okay. Well, that was the big point, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Last time.
So last time we just talked about music, and I said that music is a therapy.
Mhm.
I mean, the art, making an art, is some kind of therapy. And talking about therapy, what is the therapy? What is the therapy for a human being, for a person? I mean, psychological therapy or what therapy? Psychological.
I mean, I think there's so many schools of thought, isn't there? I mean, I've been to so many different psychologists myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they have different tactics and different techniques, but I think ultimately it's just someone who doesn't judge you and who's not defensive when you speak to them.
Okay.
You know, like, if you find the right one. Obviously, there are some judgy psychologists, and they should probably stop doing their job. Like let's say a janitor who hates a mop. Fuck that. I'm not using a mop. You know what I'm going to do instead? I'm just going to use my shoes and spit on the floor. And you're like, it's going to take you, one, much longer, and two, you're probably going to make more of a mess.
Yeah.
which is what they do, I guess.
Mm.
But I think, like, they're like our thrashing pole. You know, in life, how you, especially as a father,
Yeah.
a dad, a navigator, a guider, or what a guidance counselor, or whatever the fuck you might be.
Mm.
But you have to be a thrashing pole. Like, when your baby won't go to sleep,
Yeah.
and she's like, you can't turn around and go, bah, bah, bah. You have to go, it's okay, it's all right, yes, I'm listening to you, and everything will be fine, right? That's what you have to be for your child.
So it's that what therapists should do, you think?
Yeah, I think so. Like, they're essentially, because maybe, like, a lot of people that don't necessarily go to therapy had really great parents.
Hmm.
Not that I don't have great parents, but maybe they couldn't suffice those, because also you can't tell parents some of your sexual experiences, or even some of your drug taking experiences, or even just how are you going to tell your parents that you stole money from them? You know?
You can actually.
Yeah.
But
You can, but that's a different type of therapy. That's like, I think that's called inversion therapy, when you, or immersion therapy.
immersion, all right.
Yeah. What do you think a therapist is?
I mean, I think.
What do you think?
What do you think? What is my thought? And
What are your thoughts?
I'm thinking that why do we have friends in general?
Yeah.
So, and the main, I guess, definition of a friend, it is the person who do not judge you, who did not.
Is it?
I guess so. The friend, why he's accepting you, like, maybe, I don't know, not maybe, but you know, if you, let's say, your partner, yeah. Sometimes there is some time when your partner wants, you know, you to be a different person than you are, like.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, happening. And with the friends, I guess that's not the case, because, you know, you are just being okay, I'm okay, that's just, you know, hanging some time with that guy. I don't know why, just because, you know, just because maybe he's not judging me and I'm not judging him. I mean,
yeah. But then I'd tend to think that I had, you know, most of my friends when I was growing up, I'm still growing up,
yeah.
even though I'm growing down,
maybe we are growing down already.
down towards the worms.
For I don't know, 2 decades, we're growing down. Maybe, yeah.
Maybe not.
I mean, maybe in, like, let's say, from the perspective what we are in our, like, inner world as a human being, what you know, my, like, thoughts and, I don't know, experiences and thinking and capability of thinking as well. Conscious, I'd say maybe I grow up still. I'm growing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in the case, like
as a
physiological, you know.
yeah,
things,
physiological. Yeah, right. Yeah.
growing down.
Psychologically, though, you feel like you're growing up.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it does make sense. You're not going to... Although, you know, when you think... You know, I was watching this guy walk with his daughter, his child. I don't know whether it was male, them, his child.
Yeah.
May not even have been his child. Maybe I should have called the authorities, called the police or something. Maybe he stole the child. But he had a pram, and there was a child, and he was holding the child's hand. And he was trying to text on his phone and stuff. And one of the things that we learn in general about life is multitasking doesn't really work.
Yeah.
And focusing on one specific thing is how you get the best out of life, right?
Yeah.
And so if he just focused on, like, admittedly his child was very slow walking home, which is probably quite frustrating.
Yeah.
Because as much as you wanted them to walk before, now you want them to walk faster. But maybe that's also the psychology of, oh fuck, I'm getting lost in this. I think like that's also but that's the thing, like children are wise is what I was trying to get at. Babies are wise. They engage with the world. The things around them are fascinating. We, once we get to a certain age, are fucking stupid because we just accept everything around us, and we try and accept new things and further things and go beyond, and then we forget about what it is to actually accept something really simple, something really fascinating. But babies do that, and so do old people, because again, not old people, but you know, you kind of come full circle, don't you? You grow to this extent where you come back to, you're getting close to the end and you realize, I maybe just spent way too much time on a bunch of shit.
So you are getting back to simplicity you wanted, maybe, no?
I think so.
Some sort of.
Yeah. There was a documentary about a short documentary about a 109-year-old man who, have you seen it? Probably National Geographic, guy in America.
Not really sure.
Still smokes, drinks a little bit, and he's like, doesn't know when he's going to die. So if he wants to sleep, he goes to sleep. If he wakes up, he gets out of bed straight away. Whatever time it is, 3 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock, 5, whatever. If he wants to have a drink, he'll have a little sip of something, whatever time it is. Then he'll go and he's still driving his car at 109. And like, he just does this thing. You know, he's like, I mean, from my understanding, I don't know, he's just gotten to this point of his life where he's like, if I fall asleep, I may never wake up. And if I never wake up, do I want to be like, it was 9 o'clock in the morning, I really wanted a sip of bourbon, and I just didn't have it because the world said I shouldn't be doing that. Obviously, drinking is quite troublesome for some people, but for him it was, maybe it is troublesome for him, I don't know, but it was just something.
So you would love to say, maybe you would love to say that we should like behave like he did, or he does.
But we don't have the opportunity to, do we? Because we have too many things telling us that we need money for stuff, we need this, we need that.
I think we are trying to get in synchronicity with society. Like I love to say society. Yeah, and that's
society is good, man. I like it.
Yeah, and if you are with the band, and you want to, be in the groove of the band and feel the same, I don't know, let's say, what would be the word? So maybe the same like lingo feel, or whatever, and everybody's like in the immediately into that like synchronic groove. Yes. Yeah. So if you do not play as they do, as all the band do, you are not in the groove, and if you are not in the groove, you cannot feel the same vibe. Let's say you cannot feel the same vibe, and you cannot like be with them. So that's the same maybe with our society. Just there is too much tribes into the society, with whom you wanna be intact.
Yeah, I was just thinking, like, through what you're saying, you say society.
Yeah,
but maybe it's supposed to be like that, but like in a way, because society in general are shy. Because what we're saying now is you're shy to go and be yourself, which is to break away from everything and just go and sit down and do nothing if you wish. If you like, not watch anything, not listen to anything, just go and sit and in a dark room, blackout room, go and sit and do nothing. Absolutely nothing. Maybe you want to do that, but you're shy to get away from society.
Society, yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe afraid.
Yeah.
Maybe afraid of losing something.
Losing a friend
Or
because you're not there for your friend. I think there's where you got to pay for a therapist, because they're there for you. You know, if you say to your therapist, 10 o'clock Thursday mornings, I'm coming to you, and they obviously check their appointment book and say, yes, I have that space.
Yeah.
And they keep that space. You pay them and you go there. If you say to your friend every Thursday morning at 10 a.m., we've got to meet, maybe they might miss it. You know, even if they are a really great friend, maybe they're like, man, 10 a.m. on a Thursday morning, I'm doing this, or I'm starting this, or I'm moving over here, or I'm going there.
Yeah. So the therapists are our friends for bucks.
Friends for bucks. Reliable. As I said, a thrashing pole. You go in there and you thrash them with your stuff, and they go, okay.
But that's not like honest, no?
What do you mean?
Not honest friendship.
Well, it's also not honest that they're asking you for money, though, is it? You think therapy should be free?
No, but
I mean, technically it should be, if they want less people.
Have you heard about that Mike Tellinger stuff? Ella. Okay, I'm gonna try to tell.
Okay.
The listeners and you as well.
Okay.
So he started in South Africa. In South Africa, he started a community which called Ubuntu. And his, let's say, rules, or I don't know what would be the, some sort of
guidelines.
Yeah. Everything should be free.
Okay.
Like in some communism thing.
Right. Yeah.
And he's like the main idea, the people get into this, let's say, small city, let's say 1,000 people, and everybody loves something to do, just in general, we have some, carpenters or whatever, every kind of profession, maybe, I don't know, but, or in general, we have 1,000 people which love to do something. And
like they're all bankers.
Could be.
They all love banking, but everything has to be free.
Yeah, and Michael Tellinger was persecuted by banks as well.
Oh, yeah?
Because he kind of won the case against the bank, and he was the first, or maybe the one person in the our earth, which
beat the banks.
It's not actual he won the case, but it was like the bank retreated.
Oh, yeah?
From that case, yeah.
What was the case?
I'm not sure, I didn't dig too deep into that case, yeah, but he did it, and after that some guys started to persecute him, There was some fake robbery in his house and whatever.
Right.
Yeah, but he started this Ubuntu, and the idea, the 1,000 people come together and they love to do something, whatever they love to do. And one person, let's say, if I'd be in the Ubuntu community, I love to produce music. So I'm making a master class for, let's say, 1 hour about music making, and I'm making the workshop because I just love to make music, and I'm making a workshop, and everybody from those people, those 1,000 people, should work 2 hours in a week for some specialty guy in the workshop,
right?
Into those, I mean,
like in return for a workshop.
Yeah.
So you say I wanted to go to your workshop, and he's like, well, you need to dig this hole and plant a few trees for a couple of hours. Is that what you mean? Or?
Not really that, but if you are into that community, so you get the electricity free. It's free for you.
Okay.
And there is plenty of workshops, and you must for that electricity, you have to attend to 2 hours workshop in a week, and all the rest of the time you can do whatever you want.
Right.
And so the idea is that simple. Everybody, it's 1,000 people, and they're like having 2,000 work hours in a week. 2,000 work hours.
What?
Because every person works for 2 hours in some workshop.
Okay.
So when everybody, and in general, this small Ubuntu city, let's say, have 2,000 work hours in a week.
Right.
And they can, produce something with those 2 hours. And can you imagine how much the productivity would be of the person which works just 2 hours in a week? I mean, in general, would he exhaust it?
I mean, they'd have a lot of energy for those 2 hours, maybe.
Yeah.
Unless you really don't want to work, because I think we've spoken about this before, but I think if it's something you don't enjoy doing.
Yeah, but you can pick up whatever you want. So you do not have to attend into some workshop which you are not loving.
Right.
So you're just attending into those which you pick up for yourself as like funny thing. And yeah. So, and in those type of like society, everything could be, free of charge.
Right.
When I'm starting to thinking about it, because, and Mike Tellinger thought it's like digging very deep about the money and about how money actually damaging the society, because the money, putting some distortion on your activities, some distortion on your creativity, and and it's sometimes the money is the tool which breaks when you're like pushing the brakes. What's the stopping? Which is stopping you from doing some stuff which you would love to do.
Oh, absolutely. That's human beings as a whole.
So exactly. So when you're starting to think about that,
Sorry, not human beings. It's society as a whole.
Society, yeah. It's like, it's okay like tool, but in some sort of, it helps to exchange, exchange like
ideas, skills,
services,
tools,
whatever, yeah. But in general, when you're starting to think like deep, you're starting to see that it stops there, because you might do some creative stuff which would be amazing for all the society. But money,
but I think money is obviously a tool like a contractual tool to protect to protect some parties going into contract with someone else, because if you create something for free and then the other person is like, I'm just going to put it online, and then, I'm going to sell this thing, and you're like, I created it for free because I didn't want money to get in the way of it.
That's money involved already.
Of course.
So, but I'm talking, if you are like living in the let's say Ubuntu society, you're working just for 2 hours in the activity workshop which you like, and all the rest you do, let's say you write. All the week you write, and you are like happy writer, because you do not feel that stress. You should pay the mortgage, rent, and gasoline.
Benzinas.
benzinas, gasolis, dizelinas.
Oi, oi, oi.
Yes. So
Dujos.
dujos. Pap-
Dujos.
Pabrango dujos. Pabrango dujos.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree that anything creative is destroyed by money. Supported sometimes, but more often than not destroyed. Confidence is also destroyed by money. So there's many people who are overly confident just because they're rich,
Yeah.
and actually their ability is little to none. Well, everyone has some sort of ability. Everyone has some sort of skill. Everyone has some sort of ability. But once money gets in the way, like, people definitely start believing that they are a fuckload better than they are.
Because
Maybe not better than they are. Again, that's harsh because people are great, but they start believing they're better than other people.
Yeah.
That's what the thing is. And that's the biggest problem. Because you could make money or not make money. Just because you make money out of something doesn't mean you're better than anyone else. And doesn't mean that they're worse.
And how does this problem evolve into our society?
How do you mean? What do you mean?
I mean, this is the problem because of the people,
Yeah.
which, let's say, society
Mm-hmm.
gives the leverage to this tool, which
Yeah.
is money.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So if we are like it, we should blame ourselves because we believe that money is like, and we give that credit to money, to and as well to that person which have them a lot, which I don't know knows how to make them or knows how to, I don't know, or it's like maybe generational thing. And
Or a family guided thing. I mean, it's not always true. Obviously, there's some people that have made themselves out of nothing.
yeah, definitely.
And
Not all. I mean, there's lot. I know lots of the people which are rich, and they are like fucking great guys.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I don't think anyone was saying rich people are bad people.
yeah.
I know
No.
some people might misquote me and
Yeah,
say
yeah,
that,
yeah.
but I never said that. Like, I believe some people are just pricks and cunts and shitty, and they shouldn't.
Yeah, we're just talking about.
Money is just the thing that keeps them able to be shitty.
Yeah, and that's because the people give power to the money, and when you get that power from the people.
Yeah. So people like Harvey Weinstein, for instance,
Yeah,
they're able to rise up and do what they do.
yeah,
Of course, there are other people like him that have no money that still do the same thing, but they do it in a different way. He did it because he had opportunity for people and he had money surrounding him. And he was able to assault women because he could hold something above them, hold something over them, and that had to do with money, and the money was the power there.
yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah.
So
You know what? Going back, just thinking, maybe he didn't really have friends, and he doesn't have friends. He just has people who are scared of him, people who wanted his money and wanted his opportunity. Because realistically, like, if he was just a dude at a bar doing those things
yeah,
and asking you to keep them quiet, you'd be like, fuck you.
definitely.
Yeah, no way. I don't care how. Although some friends do actually protect their friends, and so maybe I don't know. Maybe he's got really good friends, or they're implicated in all of it, and they protected him as long as they could, and then after that I know it's old, it's not necessarily old news, but like definitely let's take two people, Jeffrey Epstein and Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah.
Epstein, Weinstein. Both Steins. Maybe long-distance relatives, cousins or something. Get together at Christmas time and go, oh, are you doing this? Yeah, I'm doing that. Oh, wow, you're really good at it. Maybe that's what makes them friends. Maybe they were friends because they're like, oh, we have similarities. Maybe, you know, these kind of shitty people find similarities in what each other are doing. They're like, oh, you know what? I'll protect you as long as you protect me. But money absolutely gave them the opportunity to do all the shitty things they were doing. Like, it protected them, it supported them, it secured their places so that they could get a certain class of person to come to them. They could then select how and who they would abuse and assault. And you know, it gave them these opportunities. Money gave them these opportunities. If they were broke, then those same people wouldn't go anywhere near them. They would have to have like this strange magnetism around them, because I mean, sure, you hear of serial killers and serial rapists, but that's usually quite violent entry into burglary and attacking on the street. It's a very different thing. Rather than schmoozing some, you're not going to hear of a homeless guy schmoozing some woman back to his cardboard house and onto his pissy mattress, if he has a mattress, just onto, you know, being like, oh, come back and drink, you know, some of my crappy wine that I made with my best mate's feces and a little bit of rat piss. You're not going to get that, are you?
So to our listeners, we are like switching to some from like our daily usual like psycho
analysis
and what was the word? Fuck, I forgot. What's the definition of our podcast? Yeah, but now we are into some horror thing. so please lead us, please guide us, Father.
The whole thing is, if without money, but with friends, you're able to do those things. You're able to get through those spaces, but are your friends only there for money, or are they there for something else? How would you even get into a space where you just find someone else is doing similar things to you and you go, you know what, I'll protect you like that? You know, Jeffrey Epstein did that with so many different people. And then he, you know, the people who call themselves or have named themselves the elite, he managed to, you know, find their sexual preferences and supported them through that. Again, if he was a homeless dude, or if he was whatever, I don't know, what else might he be? Like just working a dead-end job with no friends, no one around him, is not necessarily going to have the access to that.
What would happen with us or with you if you'd had that power? Can you go like honestly with your, like, let's say, deep down thoughts? So when you know what I'm thinking, that maybe I'm just saying maybe Jeffrey lives in like every human being,
right?
But it needs, you know, to, I mean, the human being should get into a position, into some type of environment which that Jeffrey could evolve, you know, and could express himself or itself, let's say.
Yeah, but you'd also I absolutely know what you're saying, and there are so many, like, you know, there's the old psychopath test where you realize pretty much everyone's a psychopath.
Yeah.
You know, this kind of title that everyone's given, but it's whatever parts of your character that you turn the volume up on, right?
Yeah.
You go, right, I like being kind and nice even if it doesn't get me a fucking mortgage or, you know, a great house or private jet.
Yeah.
I like being kind of nice, which is, again, not saying that people who are rich are all whatever, you know, kind and nice people, helpful people, but they maybe just choose who they help and they choose where their charity goes. But, which is absolutely fine. But what would I have done with that power and money?
I mean, can you really imagine where you can you go from the point to the point? Because
I don't think so.
If I'd be honest, I don't know, you know, sometimes I'm thinking, if I've got the fame and the money, let's say, in my 20s,
Yeah.
I think I'd be destroyed.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking, when I'm 45.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe sometimes, like, you know, I'm just thinking that maybe it is a success. And for Jeffrey, yeah, it's bad for him, you know, in general. If you're like believing that the stream of conscious do not end like after your death.
Mm-hmm.
It's keep going somewhere, you know, in our universe, through some species or I don't know,
Yeah.
whatever could it be,
Yeah.
somehow in some realm.
Mm-hmm.
So it's bad for him. It's very unsuccess.
Unsuccessful. What is unsuccessful for
I mean, his richness, the position which he had, his tools
Yeah.
to do those bad things.
Yeah.
It was like, I mean, from the perspective that he got that power, yeah, and it is a success to get that power, to be capable of doing some, you know, things, whatever you can imagine.
Yeah.
But in like big picture, it is very bad for him. It's
Absolutely.
very bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a huge unsuccess.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a massive. Like his whole life is. Forget it. Everything he did before, every deal he made, everything he did, it's pointless.
Yeah, and
It's wasteless. Wasteful.
Where is he now, or where he could be now after? I don't know. Is he dead?
Yeah.
So where is he now? Maybe nobody wants to be there.
Yeah. Maybe he's become a blade of grass, and he's just like he's got the same mentality, but he's just a blade of grass, and he can't do anything. But as for me, what would I don't know, like I kind of gone close to fame and money and stuff. And do I ever tell you, like, so years ago I went to an awards ceremony.
Yeah.
The show I was doing, which I just got out of acting school,
Yeah.
the show I was doing won an award, and you know, my mind was all over the place. I didn't know what the fuck I should do or I could do. And so I said stupid things to some people. But there was one moment where I'm not very good at the whole networking thing and people introducing me to other. Oh, I like you. I'll introduce you to this person.
Yeah.
Usually the person that likes me introduced me to someone who won't like me. and introduce me to like a person who I'm like, I don't like this person either. Introduced me to this person who was standing there with like 9 models around them. These tall, beautiful women,
Yeah.
all standing around this guy, and they're all laughing,
Yeah.
right? And you know, it's kind of ridiculous. It's the kind of thing you'd see in a movie. Like you imagine him just like waving money in the air and smoking a big you know, in Batman or something. And I walk over, I'm like, you know, someone goes, oh, this is Chris. He's from the series. They just won an award. And he says to me, oh, wow, you won an award. So what are your next plans and stuff? And I said, you know, I don't really know at this point. I need to see what. And, you know, that's not the thing you say, apparently. You're supposed to say, oh, well, the next thing I'm doing is this. And the next
That and yeah.
Exactly. But at that time, a waiter walked past and knocked a glass onto the ground, smashed everywhere. It's
So-
all dark in there. This is the backstage of the awards ceremony. It's all dark and stuff.
So did you do it on the purpose? No?
I didn't do it on purpose.
No.
The waiter. The
Okay.
waiter knocked it. Like, someone knocked, whoever, maybe it wasn't a waiter.
Yeah.
Just someone knocked a glass on the ground. It smashed around us. There's all these, women in high heels and stuff.
Yeah.
And my brain went, shit, someone needs to look out for this. Because I used to work in bars, and, that's what the worst thing you could have happen in a bar is someone trips on glass.
Hmm.
Or someone steps on glass, or even at home, like stepping
Yeah,
on
yeah.
glass is fucked. And then even later on in life, I did step on glass, but
Yeah.
that's further on. But so he said to me, like, "What do you think about doing?" The glass is smashed on the ground. I'm looking around for someone to clean it up. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna, I'm trying to talk to him, but it's like so distracted.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm not giving. He was a big producer. Always introduce a big producer,
Yeah.
and I was distracted by the glass on the ground. So I stood there waiting for someone to clean it up, because that was inherent in me, and I would always do that.
Yeah.
Because I think immediately that someone's going to injure themselves.
Mm.
Not, I've got to get this job, and forget about people.
Mm.
I think, fuck, I don't want anyone to slip over and hurt themselves. Which is, again, not how I was as a teenager, but as a more adult person, I was more like that.
Mm.
And he kind of went, kind of walked away. He walked away with his
With
collection of
9
models.
9 models.
His 9 models. They all walked off, and I wasn't watching. I just waited, and I just eventually grabbed a waiter, and I said, "Oh, look, can you clean this up?" I didn't know whether I would have fucking cleaned it up myself. I was one of the actors on stage that won the award, and then I was happy to go and clean something.
Mm.
Not that makes me a great person, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying this was the whole fucking realm of thought that I was in. Anyway, the
Yeah.
rest of the night, I kept trying to win him back. And all I did was become desperate,
Mm.
because I was like, oh shit, I've missed this big opportunity. But actually, I didn't, because realistically, if he truly cared
Yeah.
about me or anything I was doing, he would have just waited for a moment, and then he'd be like, oh no, it's cool, man, like, but he didn't. He didn't care. He doesn't have time, and if he doesn't have time for me at that point, he'll not have time for me later on, and he won't have time for me in general.
Mm.
So, I sent him, and then actually to follow it up, he's like, "Oh, send me an email on Monday."
Mm.
So I sent him an email, and it was with my resume attached, and like I don't know, I was really bad at doing these things, and
Yeah.
I still am. Like, I'm not good at kissing ass or whatever. sucking up.
Or promoting yourself, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm okay with promoting myself.
Okay.
Somewhat, but I think kissing ass, I'm not so good at it. Or maybe because I
So
think of it like
how you can kiss an ass writing an email?
well, you just
Like,
it's tough. But I said, "Oh, it was great to meet you." Like, whatever. Sorry for being
Yeah.
distracted. And then I sent him my, like my credits or whatever.
mm,
This is 2007,
mm.
and he wrote back like 2 weeks later. The attachment was blank.
So you wrote back with an empty letter and no
yeah,
attachment.
he said your attachment was blank. What you sent to me was blank,
Oh, okay.
and I don't know whether it was. I
So
don't know
was
whether- I don't know.
Have you checked?
No, it's so long ago.
No, but when you like,
I didn't like break into his office and go and check his emails and be like, "Oh, motherfucker, it wasn't. It was attached. It was there." Is that what you mean?
no, but when you like,
Oh, the
attaching
document.
the document.
No,
in
the
your-
document was there.
Okay.
I think he was just didn't want to, whatever.
So on what you wrote back then?
Nothing.
Okay. So
I left it.
So you like fucked him off
I don't think I did.
because he's like, if I don't know, but I'm.
I mean, what does he need to know from me? He's seen me up on stage in an award-winning show. What else does he need to know?
I don't know. Maybe
He's had the CEO of a channel introduce me to him. You know, this guy who was a really nice guy and who was always supporting me. He's like, "Oh, we love you in the show. We love you. Oh, my wife and I always loving you and laughing. We watch it in bed and we love it." And that guy, brilliant guy.
Yeah.
The other guy he introduced me to, whatever. Who knows what he was? He's happy to hang around nine models and kind of, it's not like he was telling them great jokes or anything. It's just they were knowing that he was a rich big time producer and they wanted to hang around it.
You know what?
What?
You should roll him back now. The full blanket. After 16 years.
Just like an empty email.
Empty email, but full blanket.
Full Yeah. What about you? What do you think would happen to you? What do you think? What path do you think you'd decide to take?
I don't know, Chris. It's very, very long journey. No, but my point was like, if I had some tools back there, in some time in my life,
Yeah.
because of lack of my, let's say, intellect or consciousness or whatever, I don't know, of experience maybe, lots of things, because of lack of it, I think some of the tools could destroy me.
Yeah.
And and I'm thinking that I'm okay in the position where I'm here now because I've got some different experiences which I didn't, I guess, if I got into the fame and money too early, or I don't know, at least at all, because to my experience, and it's little experience, but I know some people very, like, let's say, rich, as well as famous, and I cannot say that they are very happy.
Yeah.
And there is always price of that thing. There is always a price of what you are doing.
Yeah.
And if you are like, wearing dreadlocks and having all your time, to lay down on the grass, it's very okay. And of course it has a price, because nobody in our society cannot, I mean, really, can you allow yourself, to just lay on the grass all the day? All the day.
I mean, I absolutely could, but at the
for
moment,
300 days in the year.
Definitely not.
So
definitely not. No, I mean, at the moment, I could do that for maybe 10 minutes, but I could make 10 minutes feel quite
as a
restorative. Yeah, but I mean, I don't necessarily think that all famous people are, depressed or sad. About
of
that
course
sort of
not.
stuff.
No, but I mean,
but you know what I do think?
it's a price behind that, as I see.
Yeah,
It has some price.
if you took it away from them, though,
Yeah.
they wouldn't be very happy. What you'd have to replace it with is friends, real family, real connection. And I think, like, if you're going to, again, go towards those things, usually you will find yourself in a space where you're not, when you have nothing and someone wants to be your friend because of you, that's a plane, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huge plane, I guess.
I mean, we're
Some NATO, we're like
Yeah.
very secure here.
we're close to an active war zone, so I mean, close, relatively close.
Yeah. Actually, less than 100 kilometers from Belarus, where, like Putin said, he would put the radioactive, those heads.
The Warheads.
The Warheads, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but whatever. So don't go there.
No.
Let's don't go there. Yeah.
What was I saying?
So
Just got distracted by that plane.
we were talking about friends. Yeah.
Yeah, so friends, and I think once you go in that direction, you start to realize that people that, you know, like, I think you and I are friends,
Yeah.
not because you're a music producer, not because you have microphones. or
Maybe because of that. Microphone and wires.
No,
And-
because I think you have I appreciate you for who you are, the way you think, the way you speak.
That's very good, reason to ask a question.
Uh-huh.
What's this?
What?
Who you are? What's this? What's this the person are? What's the what's the definition?
I guess the kind of signals you put out.
All right. So the signals.
Yeah, and from what I've heard from you over the 10 years of knowing you,
Yeah.
the signals you put out is that you're a conscious, caring human being, that you genuinely love to experience intense emotions,
All right.
exciting things in life, but you also don't subscribe to a generic thought module of this is the way this is, therefore it should be like that.
Yeah.
You do not, and with all your information and everything you've ever, let's say, collected over your time, I think you're happy to be challenged on things, or even just think differently because someone's offered something to you. And you go, okay. And I think you adapt. And that's what, from my perspective, I appreciate your friendship because I'm able to discuss things with you. And you don't go, no, that's not correct.
Yeah. The absurd would be.
Yeah.
That's not correct.
Yeah. That is not
That
correct.
is not.
So, yeah. What do you think a person is?
I've met some guy. He's an ancient priest, I guess, some kind of Lithuanian ancient priest. Let's say that way, and astrologer, some kind of astrologer. And he said interesting thing, in the discussion. Near the fireplace, he said that he believes that all the living beings, not only human beings, but all the living beings, it is God himself experiencing his own creativity.
Right.
Because, he said that he believes that God is like, some guy, some big, huge guy, in intellect-wise. Intellectual, and I don't know what could be the other philosophical, or even space vectors. I don't know, whatever.
Or violent.
Yeah, but he's like that big creature which is alone, and he creates things, and to being not bored and to being explore his creativity, his game, he creates some big universe thing, and being able to explore it, you should somehow have to go into it, like not a creator,
Right.
like in some kind of user, we have some social things, and we've got creators and we've got users which experiencing, So he believes that every tiny and big living being.
Mm-hmm.
It is the God himself
Mm-hmm.
experiencing his world, which he created.
Mm-hmm.
And after death, he or she or whatever comes back to him
Mm-hmm.
and tells him what's the art, the piece of art which he created is about.
Okay.
So, and it's maybe not that specific what I tell what I tell the definitions of human or a person.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand what you're saying.
Yeah, but then
again, I'd
I'd
ask your friend why he limits God to a single gender. Does he not?
No, he did
Right,
not.
so it's like an entity, a being.
Entity. It's
Right.
it's because it's distorted because of my English language.
Oh, no,
maybe.
sorry. So that's
Yeah.
my fault. I apologize.
Yeah, so the person that there is so many slices,
Mm.
which can define the person what he is. But there was like in our first podcast, I
Our
said
very first one.
very first one.
Wow,
I
yeah.
said this. So can I repeat it?
Of course.
I've met the meditation teacher,
Mhm.
and once I asked him a question. How do I? Because he said, if you meditate, the wisdom
Mm.
evolves into your mind,
Mm.
and you will get wiser and wiser and wiser after meditation. And I asked, how I'm gonna, understand, and how I'm gonna, be able to understand what I'm getting wiser. And
Mhm.
he said that simple thing: your actions
Mhm.
will be different. And
Mhm.
when your actions will be different, the people will notice it.
Mhm.
And when they'll notice it,
Mhm.
they'll came to you and tell you. That's the simple thing. Yeah. So maybe the action is the thing.
I mean, it is true. There's someone that goes to therapy that I know of, and when they changed, I said therapy is really going well for you. So therapy is like guided meditation with a friend that you pay.
Yeah. But it's a different, that tool, the money. Difference in those. I mean, I honestly do believe that all the most precious things in life
Mm-hmm.
are free.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I mean,
course.
just free.
And also the most complex.
Yeah, of course, and
Yeah, like the most complex and the most fantastic things in life are free, definitely.
we just not everyone and we as we are now. Maybe not every time be in not every time we are able to to take them.
Yeah.
Just we somehow forgot the
But as children, as babies,
yes.
we are given that opportunity.
Yeah.
And we take that opportunity where things are just given to us.
Mm.
And more often than not, the child's going to play with the box or the paper or the scrunchy sounding thing
Yeah.
than the actual man-made, fashioned gift, blah, blah, blah. They're like, no, what's this sound?
Yeah.
Like, sound is free, right? Sound is free.
Sound is free.
And when you
Totally.
hear sounds properly, like you really listen to them, or even seeing is free. Looking outside,
Yeah.
depending on what you're looking at, can be, if you're looking at a brick wall, maybe it's not so free for you. Or if you've got a great vista in Tuscany or somewhere else. Tuscany keeps coming up.
Yeah.
But if you keep having a look out these villas, then maybe again money is the reason for that, so it's not so free. But to wander somewhere,
But
into
in
the park-
general, the being, I mean,
Yeah.
the capability of see things.
To see something fascinating is absolutely free.
Yeah.
You just have to accept the fact of how much is fucking fascinating.
Yeah.
Don't say, oh, that's acceptable. Ask, why is that happening?
Yeah.
Why? What is it that how did that even get there? Whether it be your own fingertips or an Airbus A380, whatever it might be. Look at it and just go, wow, the fuck did that get there?
Yeah.
So, final thoughts?
Final thoughts. So, the friends are therapists, definitely.
Yeah.
And actually the activities,
Mm.
all the activities we do can be therapeutical. Yeah? Therapeutical, yeah.
Yeah, therapeutic, yeah.
So 100%, I guess.
Yeah. And, I agree with those final thoughts.
And
I'm just going to put one extra on.
yeah,
there.
of course. Yeah.
That we... No, I don't have it. No, I'm going to be honest. I thought I was going to put something on there, but I don't have it. You've summed it up nicely. So
Yeah.
You summed up the positive parts of what we've been speaking about. So it's better to...
What about negative?
Well, the negative ones is that if you give money to some people, they're going to fucking ruin the world. And they're going to destroy
Maybe
they're going to destroy some people's realities and existence. They're going to injure people, and that's going to be their reality.
So don't, but yeah,
Careful who you give money to,
careful.
and who you take money from.
Careful to whom you give your attention.
Yes, that's a final thought.
Yeah.
That's it.
So, can you pass me that one shot thing?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. This is good one. And
Oh, it's loud.
that's for you.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna jarabaya, I'm gonna jarabaya, I'm gonna jaraya, I'm gonna jaraborana jarana, Yeah.
Oh,
So thanks, Chris.
thank you, Alvidas.
Thanks, our listeners.
Thank you so much.
There
Coming
was
back
we are coming back next Tuesday.
next Tuesday.
Two smart men
Too smart, man.
until
Nothing exists.
Oh yeah.
Whoa, whoa.